Hi, welcome to Mad English TV. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you a very interesting term that we use very often in English, and that term is devil's advocate. Okay, you probably already know what the word devil means. This is the devil right here. Now, the word advocate means to publicly support something. Okay, it can be a verb or it can be a noun. If it's a noun, it means a person who publicly supports something. Now, there's a little difference in pronunciation between the verb and the noun. When it's a verb, it's advocate, and when it's a noun, it's advocate. Can you hear the difference? Advocate, advocate. The difference is here with the letter A. Advocate, advocate. Here it's a long A, here it's sort of a short A sound, okay? So let's look at an example of what this means. So there's an organization called MADD, M-A-D-D. It stands for Mothers Against Drunk Driving. I think this organization was started by a group of mothers who lost their kids in car accidents due to drunk driving. Okay, so we could say those mothers are advocates against drunk driving. Or we could say those mothers are advocating against drunk driving. So here it's a noun and here it's a verb. Let's look at another example. My friend bought a Tesla because he's trying to advocate for clean energy. So a Tesla is an electric car. So he bought an electric car because he's trying to advocate for clean energy. Okay, Mother Teresa was an advocate for the poor. Oops, I said it wrong. I said advocate. It should be advocate. Remember the pronunciation? So here it's, he's trying to advocate. It's a verb. And here it's advocate because we're talking about the person. So Mother Teresa was an advocate for the poor. Poor people around the world really loved her because she helped them and she was an advocate for them. Okay, so let's look at the term devil's advocate. So here's this angel. She says cocaine is bad, right? Cocaine is a drug. It's a very strong drug. So the angel says cocaine is bad. Now this girl says cocaine is good. Now, the devil's not saying it. She's saying it because she's the devil's advocate. She's speaking on his behalf. She's representing his side of the argument. Okay? So the term devil's advocate actually has nothing to do with the devil. It just means to take the opposite side of an argument. Okay? It's a role you play in an argument. So we could say Sheila loves playing the devil's advocate. So she loves playing the role of devil's advocate. It means she always takes the opposite side in a conversation or an argument or a discussion or a debate, right? Sometimes it can be fun to take the opposite side. It can make the conversation a little bit more interesting. For example, if you say drugs are bad, then if I say, well, maybe not all drugs are bad, some drugs are good, then it makes the conversation a little bit more interesting, all right? So let's take a look at an example. So Tom says, it's good that the drinking age is 21 in the US. Otherwise, there would be way more drunk driving accidents. And Jen says, I agree, but to play the devil's advocate, Germany has a much younger drinking age and far fewer drunk driving accidents. Okay, so Jen agrees with Tom that the drinking age should be 21, but she's playing the devil's advocate. Now, why is she doing that? She's doing it to strengthen this argument. Okay, right now this argument is very weak. Tom is saying that if the drinking age was lower, like 18, then there would be more accidents, right? But if that was true, then Germany would have tons of accidents because in Germany, the drinking age is 16. Okay, so this doesn't make sense. So Tom has to think about it and come up with an argument for why he believes this. Okay, so Jen is helping them strengthen the argument. All right, so she's moving from here to here. Okay, she actually wants the drinking age to be 21. She thinks this is how it should be, but she's playing the devil's advocate to strengthen this argument. Okay, or maybe she's just playing the devil's advocate because she wants to have fun. I don't know. Okay, so sex dolls and sex robots. What do you think of this? These are gaining a lot more popularity these days. So what do you think of it? A lot of people might say, oh, that's bad, that's bad. But I watched a documentary with a guy who makes sex dolls, and he was saying that actually sex dolls will help to reduce sex trafficking and child abuse. Okay, that sounds crazy. So I guess the idea is that if a man buys a sex doll, he'll be less likely to buy a sex slave. He'll be less likely to buy a real person, right? This is actually a really big problem in the world. In our world today, you can buy a sex slave. That's crazy. That's a real tragedy. So his idea is that sex dolls and sex robots will help to reduce sex trafficking and child abuse. What do you think of that? I want to know your opinion. Let me know what you think right down there in the comments, and I might play the devil's advocate, okay? I'll try to take the opposite side of the argument. All right, see you over in the next episode of Mad English TV. Take care.